Trap Tox, is it worth it? My answer is it depends on the patient. I don't think that it's a miracle treatment, but I also don't think that it's a gimmicky trend. I think that it's another tool in our toolbox and it's great for the right indication. So let's see what the evidence suggests. The trapezius muscle is a large muscle that runs from the base of your skull across your shoulders and down your upper back. It helps stabilize your shoulders, support your neck, and allows you to shrug your shoulders as well. But this is a really large muscle, so small amounts or tiny amounts of Botox aren't going to cut it. But before we get into dosage, units, and technique, who is the right candidate for this treatment? When I think about this treatment, I'm thinking about somebody who carries chronic pain in their trapezius muscle, somebody who comes to me saying, I carry stress in my shoulders, that chronic muscle hyperactivity in the traps, the patient with persistent muscle tension, palpable trigger points, and someone who's tried stretching, massage, physical therapy. This could be a great adjunct to that. Not because I think it's fixing the problem, it's not, but it could be a great way of reducing that hyperactivity in the muscle and reducing that chronic pain and that muscle guarding that they experience. So what does the literature actually tell us? The highest level of evidence we have is a 2025 systematic review and meta-analysis looking at Botox for neck and shoulder myofascial pain. The authors found that Botox reduced pain compared with placebo, but the overall improvement was relatively modest. Their conclusion was that Botox shouldn't be considered a routine treatment for everyone with neck and shoulder pain. And honestly, I think that's a fair conclusion. I don't think Trap Tox is great for everybody. I think it has a role for the right patient. So let's talk about how I approach this patient. If they are a good candidate, I typically use a larger amount of units. The evidence has shown around 30 to 50 units. So I typically start a patient at 30 units. If they get a great result, we leave it there. If they feel like they could benefit a little bit more, then I may bump it up to 40 or even 50. It is a large amount of units. Now, this is a little injector pearl that I've learned over time. Needle size matters. I've seen some videos where they're using an 8mm typical insulin syringe needle. If your patient is lean, that may work, but if they have a good amount of subcutaneous fat overlying that muscle, although it's a superficial muscle, if they have more of that dense subcutaneous fat, you may need a 1-inch needle to really hit the muscle. So really take a look at your patient's unique anatomy, because if they carry density there, you may need a longer needle. An insulin needle isn't going to get into the muscle. So I typically use a 1-inch needle, or at minimum a 1/2 inch, to make sure that I'm reaching the belly of the muscle. Now, I know we've all heard of Barbie Botox. This is when we use Trap Tox for aesthetic reasons, for shoulder slimming and slimming down that shoulder contour to give the illusion of a longer neck. But is there actually evidence to prove this? There actually is. A 2025 review found Botox can reduce trapezius muscle bulk and improve shoulder contour in appropriately selected patients with trapezius hypertrophy. So I don't think that Barbie Botox is a fad, but I do think that patients need realistic expectations, because we're really treating quite a large muscle. I mean, if you think about it, I do 120 units in just my face alone. So you can imagine how many units it takes. And this isn't a one-time treatment and all of a sudden you experience shoulder contouring and slimming. It really takes repeated atrophy of that muscle to see any bit of change. So this isn't a one-hit wonder treatment. It really takes kind of maintenance and consistent treatments over time. So is Trap Tox worth it? The evidence does suggest that there are benefits to Trap Tox. For me, it truly comes down to patient selection. If you're truly trying to contour or slim the appearance of your shoulders, create a longer neck illusion, that's going to take repeated doses. So setting expectations with your patient is so crucial. If you're doing it for chronic pain, tension, hyperactivity, setting those expectations as well for your patient is super crucial, because I want them to know I am not curing anything. I am simply minimizing that muscle guarding so that you can relax in those shoulders and you don't carry that tension there. So it's kind of a band-aid, but if it does improve their quality of life and they do feel relief from it, I think it's a beautiful treatment. So setting expectations, patient selection, and dosing is super crucial.